me say cerveza.
It's time for the beer podcast, Morty.
Worst beer podcast ever.
Steve and Adam, funny guys.
Hop Nation USA, beer podcast leaders for over 5 years.
Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic and very special episode of the Hop Nation USA podcast. I am Adam, one of your hosts. Sitting beside me in a spectacular location we have been at before and we will be again is Steve.
That's right. We are coming to you live from Abjuration Brewing because I thought this was the best hub to kind of bring everybody together because we have a very special episode for you because, boy, oh boy, if you don't know the news, Homebrew Con is coming to Pittsburgh. And we thought, as shitty homebrewers,
yes,
it would be the best way we could serve it is to not brew beer, but instead talk to other homebrewers who are better.
Absolutely. We're going to glom on, and I hope nobody minds.
Yeah. So with that, we have from Decayin with the boys, we have Adam Bashline, a homebrewer.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Also Bash Brew. Also, you can check out the beer that he brewed with Leaning Cask sometime during the upcoming Homebrew Con, which is occurring June 23rd to the 25th. But I'm sure there's other things around Pittsburgh. You just got to check out, look out for the events.
Absolutely.
Also joining us is Zack, one of the new brewers here at Abjuration. I almost said Bash Brew.
Yeah.
I'll steal them eventually.
I wish, yeah.
Time for a hostile takeover.
No. Yeah, but and we're also joined by Adam Sullivan, who is a home brewer, and he is brewing with trash. And all the home brewers you're going to hear tonight brewed with trash, and they won events. They won categories on April 23rd at the big annual trash homebrew event, and they got the prize essentially to brew with pro brewers in the Pittsburgh area to collaborate on a beer to feature throughout the Homebrew Con week.
Yes, and I do want to make one clarification. Steve said that he brewed with trash. For those not from the area, he did not brew with literal trash. He brewed with trash, which is the Three Rivers Association of Serious Homebrewers.
Alliance
of Serious. I always stumble on the A.
It's okay. I'm tasked with remembering it. It's Alliance because I mess it up quite frequently too.
Yeah, but so Bash Brew, we went to you for that, but like you have a bit of a holding in trash at the moment, right?
I'm the current sitting vice president for trash, and was a big part of the trash competition this year that all the winners are now brewing their collab beers for. So as part of judging and stewarding the whole day, and then there for the award ceremony. So we had some killer beers from, I would say, the tri-state area. I think we got a little bit, quite a bit from Ohio, a little bit from West Virginia, and PA was well represented. So
right on. Yeah, and I saw, like, if you go through the winners list, there were people coming as far as Ligonier who are coming out here to Pittsburgh to do their collabs. So that's pretty cool. But
and what's nice is we have winners here.
Well, yeah, everybody was a winner in the event.
Absolutely.
But everybody won a specific event. So I'll let Adam Sullivan tell us. What did you win with? What was the beer you won with? And then what did you wind up brewing here at Abjuration?
Well, I ended up taking home 2 medals from the trash competition, a silver for a honey kolsch, and the beer that I was able to work with Zack and Tom and Dave on here at Abjuration, and that was a raspberry blonde.
Ooh, okay. What was the story behind the raspberry blonde? What prompted you to brew that?
It started off as a joke, to be honest with you. It started off with the old saying, "Does the carpet match the drapes?" which is actually the name of the beer. So it really started with that, and it kind of came together talking with, at the time, the one guy I brew with, Jason, who kind of got me into home brewing. And really, it was just a joke. And I said, all right, I'm going to make this happen. We're going to start with a blonde ale base and see what comes of it. And it just so happened that I had some raspberry on hand and tossed it in. And that was the first of probably 12 iterations before I got to what took the gold medal.
Was that your ultimate goal, to bring that beer to the competition once you started going through the iterations?
No.
Or is this one where you brought multiple multiple recipes, and that one just happened to be the one to win the category.
I took the same recipe and just added to it multiple times.
Okay.
It was little tweaks here and there. Sometimes it was more raspberry. Sometimes it was a different hop. I modified the grains a little bit. I switched to using what I consider a higher quality grain in Mecca grade estate malt. So I used their 2-row and their Vienna malt and their Pilsner malt and just played with the various, usage percentages of the grist and whatnot, and just came to something that was more like a happy medium. And then once I had that down, I started playing with the hops and ended up with Citra and lavender infused Cascade.
Say lavender infused Cascade.
Yes, sir.
I have never heard of that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Being a home brewer, and Bash can attest to this, you have the ability to play with things. So we ended up buying a few pounds of hops from Northwest Hop Farms out of Canada.
Okay.
And one was Sasquatch, one was Lumberjack, and then I couldn't get past the lavender infused Cascade because I've made the same blonde base. I add dried heather flowers too at times. And I was like, all right, so lavender, Cascade, they sound like they'd play well together. So I gave it a shot, and it's a very unique hop in aroma. And that's really all it is in the beer. It's just for aroma.
Oh, right on.
And so, is this coming pellet form or? Yep. Okay, so as a pellet, do they just rest it on a big bed of lavender,
they
or
actually infuse dried lavender flowers into the pellets?
Okay, so it gets
they
dried.
pelletize them. They put the lavender in the pellet.
Okay, cool. So it gets ground into it.
Yep.
And Zach, is that something you've worked with before, or?
No, that's the first time that I've personally heard of a infused hop with an herb or something like that. But definitely something to explore further.
Yeah.
So
as as the new brewer here at Abjuration, are you coming? I'm assuming you're coming from a home brewing background as well.
Sure. Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. So is it kind of fun to take the knowledge that you have been imparted with working with Tom and Dave, and now imparting it to another home brewer coming in when you guys did your collab?
I think with a beer that wins a competition, and Adam said that he's brewed it a number of times. It's more important for us to try and keep the integrity of his beer than to try and so much steamroll or make it like ours. I think that the goal is to try and make a high quality beer, but also to make it Adam's beer just kind of on a larger system so more people can have it.
Right on.
So I guess that begs the question back to Adam S. I'm just going to refer to you as Adam S. because the place is lousy with Adams tonight. But when you brought your recipe over to Abjuration, were there any tweaks that you had to make based on the system that you use versus what the system that's here?
I thought there would be more changes that needed to happen because I do brew in a bag. I mean, it's a very simple process for me. I basically steep a bunch of grains in some water, pull the bag, give it a squeeze, boil, add hops and whatever, and put it in a fermenter. And I knew that wasn't going to be the case coming down here to brew. So when I came to Dave and Tom and said, here's my recipe, and Tom scaled it up, I knew from the get-go that I landed in a good spot because they weren't going to sacrifice any of the specialty ingredients that made it a specialty beer. So there's, in a 6-gallon batch I make at home, there's a pound of raspberry blossom honey.
Sure.
There's, 2 ounces of the lavender hops. There's 6 pounds of raspberry puree. So coming here and being able to just scale it up to 10 times what I brew at home, there were minor tweaks we had to make to hit the OG, but it wasn't really anything I was too surprised about.
So, have you been able to test and try the final product yet?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's staying a mystery for you
for now. Yeah. Zack mentioned to me that they're going to put the first batch of raspberry, probably 20% of it in the fermenter tonight.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
Right on. And, we're recording this this episode a little early, but I think it's worth noting that at the actual Homebrew Con, the Pittsburgh Brewers Guild and Visit Pittsburgh, they're setting up a table within the actual convention. And then that way they'll be able to both promote Pittsburgh breweries, but also that's where they're going to be pouring these collaboration beers for anybody who's coming into town looking to taste any of these. They're going to have those running throughout the week.
And with that being said, we should talk about the beers that we're drinking right now, too.
Yeah. So we're at Abjuration. So that means we're drinking Abjuration beer.
Yes, we are.
And at least, myself, Adam, and then Bash, we are all drinking the Franconian lager, which is a 4.8%. It's a dark lager, but it's similar to a Dunkel, but it's going to obviously, 4.8%. It's lighter on the malt bill and all that. Mm-hmm. I like it, though. It is, I like the dark lager.
Yeah, it's got a nice low 22 IBUs, which is in my wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm. It has a nice, a watered down coffee color to it.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Almost like if you had an iced coffee just sort of sat out a little too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then let the ice melt. Yeah. So.
Yeah, not quite as dark as a brown ale, but
right.
There, and like a good caramel note on the malt, and finishes great. I'm not gonna lie, not my first Franconian lager here since they released it. So I enjoy this one quite frequently.
So Zach, did you have any hand in the brewing of this beer?
Yeah. So this is definitely like a beer that I came to the table with. This was a beer that was brewed specifically for lager jam, and we chose a Franconian lager, like you said, because it is darker, and we kind of wanted to be able to pierce the veil that was and what we assumed would be a bunch of lighter beers, in celebration of lager, and kind of with this like I said, darker beer. Like I said, it was just kind of a good palate cleanser, and you still get a lot of the more refreshing notes and characteristics that you would in most well-crafted lagers.
Yeah, I really, really like this beer. The more I drink it, it has that really nice caramel after finish, but it's not overly sweet. Yeah. And it's just,
And for those that like to keep track at home, this is a version 1.0
right
here at Abjuration. So this is the new hotness.
First time. But Adam Sullivan, you're drinking something completely different and of very various colors, and could be Skittles, could not be. But that's how Abjuration rolls. They'll give you something classic, and they'll also give you something Skittles. So.
Right, and that's exactly what I love about this place. And what I am drinking today, which is probably one of my favorite beers that they have on draft right now, and it's the Candied Sour with bubblegum, Meyer lemon, and marshmallow.
Damn,
hell of a combination.
It's a great combination. I mean, even just a little taste. I mean, I've heard that it's been getting some shitty comments lately, but I completely disagree with that. It's very well balanced between all three of the adjuncts that are in it. I think what I like the most is it kind of reminds me of being on a baseball field with Big League Chew or Hubba Bubba. You get that little bit, if they made a sour Hubba Bubba.
Okay.
You would kind of get that note from it.
Or if you're doing Hubba Bubba or Big League Chew and then following it up with Lemonheads candy.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes for a good day.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of all the shitty candies you could buy at a baseball, the baseball concession stand.
Throw some Sour Patch Kids in there.
Yeah, they always had Sour Patch Kids, Warheads, Fireballs.
Swedish Fish.
Yeah. Big League Chew and Lemonheads.
And then Cracker Jacks. We'll find a way to
get that. Cracker Jack might be a completely different beer, but I wouldn't put it past them either. It's not hard. It's just caramel, popcorn, peanuts. These are all things that have been in Abjuration beers.
I say we could put that on a Marzen or something.
Right. Yeah.
Throw it in the Franconian lager.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're
that
already
screams brown ale to me.
Yeah. So Adam Sullivan, you're at the homebrew stage right now.
Yep.
And we talked a little bit just getting you into the show. You're saying you're getting back into brewing, because it's kind of a hard. You're on and off a little bit.
I am on and off a little bit, but that, that's just the time constraint behind it. Having a child who's in activities and having, a job that wants you to work more than full-time hours, you kind of get lost a little bit in trying to keep things organized. So it seems to me now that brewing comes when I can find the time. Like, I'm not opposed to taking a day off of work and either brewing at my house or going over to my friend's house and brewing with him. So it's just finding the time is the real issue.
Yeah. And that was going to be part of my question is like, because you're also a part of Trash, like has Trash like opened up more opportunities and just like maybe going over somebody else's house and brewing with them for a little bit, or just learning without having to do?
The meetings are without a doubt very important, because the people you meet and the people you talk to, and Tom has said this before, and it rings so true. Brewing for individuals is like a fingerprint. Everybody does it differently. Everybody has their own opinions, but being there and talking about your process with someone who does their process a completely different way, but still produces the same product, it's super beneficial in just talking about ingredients and all of that fun stuff. But I mean, if you're getting into home brewing, do not hesitate to join a homebrew club and go to the meetings and talk to the people and let them taste your beer. They will not shit on it.
But they will give you guidance.
They will give you guidance, and they will give you the most honest feedback that they can possibly give. So don't go into it and not be able to take criticism. You have to be able to take criticism, and that's the way you're going to get better. And that's the way I've looked at it. And every time a family member or a friend or a neighbor tastes something I have on draft, it's always, don't hold back.
Right.
What can I do better? Because I know I can do better.
So in that regard, saying being able to do better, is there a particular style that you kind of turn to, or that you're a little more, I don't want to say better because that's not the right way to say it, but you're a little more acclimated to?
I stick mostly to really light beers. I try not to brew anything really over 7%. I do have a couple beers that I brew that are 10 and 12% respectively, but they get brewed once a year. I don't brew a lot of stouts because I've had some really bad experiences brewing stouts at home.
All right.
So I stay away from those. I finally gained some traction on my Irish stout, so that's a good thing. But really, I don't hate on any style. I'll brew a lager, I'll brew a sour, an IPA, a cream ale, like anything. I don't shy away from anything. I'll give anything a chance at least once.
Spin the wheel and see what happens.
Exactly.
So, Zach, same question, sort of. Obviously, we've made mention of the wide spectrum that Abjuration will attempt and go through. Was any of that like intimidating to you? Like, had Abjuration been on your radar as like one of your favorite breweries already, and that's what attracted you to come work here?
I mean, there was definitely the opportunity that COVID presented, just getting like my like foot in the door, and then I don't know, just transitioning from like someone who is like on like the packaging team to like a brewer position was like interesting, and there was like a point where I was like, I don't know, I wasn't like big into like the crazy like adjuncts we do, and I was very much like, I would like to brew like traditional like beers. Like, I just want the beers to be good and like drinkable and light, and like not like having like any kind of outside the traditional spectrum of beer. But a little bit later into the career, I kind of like just embraced that this is like a place where you can make like crazy stuff, and there's not a lot of like holdback and ideas, and that's not a place that exists all over. And to be a better brewer and to put out like a product that people like want, you should like experiment with that. But kind of like round back to your question, though, it hasn't been like intimidating so much as just kind of like been like interesting to try and like keep up with that like moniker, and like try and put out like weird beers with bubble gum and stuff that I think like people want, but also like put that out in a way that they'll respond positively to.
Yeah, and that's something, I mean, obviously, if you're a fan of the show, we've been at Abjuration 4 times already as shows, and the crazy things they'll do. But yeah, it's cool that that you came into it not necessarily loving that, you weren't in love with all the adjunct stuff, but also you came to learn to respect how all that can be. Sure. But also you also add your own you add your own hand of cards, really. Yeah. To Abjuration's already wide portfolio of ability. So sure. yeah, if you're pushing for dark lagers like this Franconian, that's cool. I ain't gonna be mad about that.
You got my support 100%.
But also, I still need my bubblegum dessert Oreo treats. I need both.
the bubblegum beer was like one that once again I like came up and like pushed for. So like I said, it is kind of like a full like embrace, and then. When you're like, wow, we've just made like a bunch of like crazy stuff, you kind of get to like blow the like top off and be like, well, I'm gonna make like a cream ale this week, so like everything's like right in the world, like we're okay, we're gonna get back to like base.
All right, so now Zach is our man on the inside.
Yeah,
because this is what I'm gonna put to you. Get these motherfuckers the Brew a Rausch beer already. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a big like Rausch fan. Actually.
I figured. There's no way you're not going to brew something like a Dunkel and then also just go, yeah, smoky bacon. It makes it better. So I know you're our man on the inside now. And get these assholes.
I think like fall that would be like real good. That might slot into like an Oktoberfest kind of
event.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to slide. We're gonna have to slide them some T-shirts, some stickers, whatever it takes. Cash, I don't care.
No.
Zach's just wearing.
There are no bribes like occurring. Like
he's just wearing Pop Nation apparel for no reason all the time. Awesome. Well, I want to thank both Zach and Adam Sullivan for coming on and telling us about telling us about the beer that you brewed. What we can expect from it. Zach, feel free to promote Abjuration in any way with websites and social medias, and then Adam will give you the same chance to let everybody know where they can find you at festivals.
Sure. We have Instagram that we're pretty active on. It's at Abjuration Brewing, and then our Facebook also we'll post stuff in like the similar vein. Also like pretty actively. Once again at Abjuration Brewing. So. Those are probably like the two main places, and then our website's like pretty comprehensive in like what we have like currently, and we have like a bunch of like single cans like you can buy if you don't want to commit to the old 4-pack. Some stuff like scares you away. Like come try it in the single because it's gonna be good. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Right on. And Adam Sullivan, where can people find? I mean, obviously they'll be able to find the Raspberry Blonde both here and at that table at the Homebrew Con. Yes. But where else can people find your beer?
Not really anywhere else. We haven't, I guess you could say, breached the festival scene yet. The first time that our beer will be available to people is at the PA Homebrew Invitational down at Hop Farm in July.
Okay. Oh, right on. With the breweries and PA guys.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So we will be serving down there. We're looking to serve five different, 4 beers and a seltzer, just to kind of get some variety out there and kind of show our chops with what we can brew. Plus, when you have friends who are, gluten free and have gluten allergies, you kind of have to appeal to them as well. So that's hence the seltzer, and those are still kind of not in my mind, but they're still kind of popular. But really, if you want to kind of follow the adventure, we are on Facebook at Granite Horizon Brewing Company. We haven't posted a lot, but I have a feeling that we are going to have to start posting a lot more. So just be on the lookout.
You got 2 medals now. Time to back it up.
Well, time to get an Instagram.
That's just this year. Yeah. Overall, I think we're up to 17, nice. And that's nationally, regionally, and locally.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice. An Instagram and a Twitter account.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta post, gotta post more.
All right. Yeah. We have to do more social media. We're just bad at
it. And Bashline, I mean, why don't you promote Trash and Bash Brew, and you can do whatever right now, and then you can do it again at the end of the episode.
Sure, I'll do Trash for right now. So it's the Three Rivers Alliance of Serious Homebrewers. It's if you just Google that, that'll bring you to our website. That gives you the meeting dates. Also, if you just put that in your search bar on Facebook, we post everything on Facebook, including upcoming meetings. You do not have to be a dues-paying member to come to your first meeting or even your first 2 meetings. Come check it out. Please enjoy some homebrews. Bring some homebrew if you have it, and you'll get some solid feedback and meet some other great homebrewers in in the scene here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And like you said, you don't even have to live in Pittsburgh because you got a bunch of entries from all over the state and out in Ohio. So
absolutely. Well, neighboring county, like you don't have to be in Allegheny County. That's a misconception. It is an Allegheny County brew club, but we have guys come down from Butler. People come over from Westmoreland. So
if you feel like it's worth the drive for you, come on out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get some new Abjuration beers, and then we're also going to get a new home brewer to talk to. And we'll continue with the show
right after this. First Sip Brew Box is a one-of-a-kind subscription service for craft beer lovers based right here in Pittsburgh. Every month, First Sip will send you a box full of craft beer enthusiast essentials, including t-shirts, glassware, and even food. Right now, our friends at First Sip Brew Box have an offer for you. Just sign up for a 3-month subscription and get your 4th month free. Just enter the code HOPUSA when you sign up at firstsipbrewbox.com. That's HOPUSA at checkout to get your 4th month free at firstsipbrewbox.com. Welcome back, everybody. Guess what? It's segment 2 of the Hop Nation USA podcast, episode 253, where we are here live and on location at Abjuration Brew here in McKees Rocks. Beautiful McKees Rocks. I'm Adam. That's Steve.
What up?
He's the best mic in the biz for a reason, people.
Hell yeah.
But since we are here at Abjuration, it is time for us to have another Abjuration beer. And this one is a little more, I'll say, contemporary.
Well, yeah, contemporary to what Abjuration gets up to.
Yes.
What we're drinking now is the Botanical Sour Ginger and Lemon Peel version 1.6. It is apparently just a simple base of 2-row and wheat. And they put a little bit of honey malt in it. And then obviously ginger and lemon peel. So
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've had a number. The Botanical series is something that they've done a bunch of different versions of. I think they've done one with like rosemary and raspberry or some sort of berry. So, but yeah, they have a whole bunch of these. I'm a fan of ginger and lemon peel, so I said, let's do this one.
Yeah. And full disclosure, I drank a little bit before we started recording.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, same.
I like it.
Yeah, it has all those lemon peel notes that you expect. It's not overly sour, though.
But there are times where it has just enough of that jaw tingle to let you know that you are having something tart, bordering on sour. So I think it's kind of hitting the mark where, for me, that does like sour stuff, you know, it works. But it's not so much for those of you that don't like overly sour things, such as Steve, that it's still quite enjoyable.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's fresh. It's drinkable. And the only thing I just wish it had more ginger. Ginger feels like it's always such a hard thing to get expressed in beers that aren't non-alcoholic beers.
Yeah.
I'm always chasing a good spicy ginger beer. So
we just got to keep feeding stickers and t-shirts.
Yeah. Yep. More bribes to pass around.
That's right. Zach is just going to be... He's just going to end up with a Cadillac or something.
Yeah. A Hop Nation branded Cadillac.
Yes.
Not just given...
like a Mary Kay Cadillac, but for Hop Nation.
Yeah, it's going to be wrapped. Shit, it'll probably just be like an 88 DeVille that's wrapped.
Yeah. I was just going to say an old school DeVille would be perfect.
Yeah.
Big old battle boat.
Yeah, make it huge. That's how you get the space on the advertisement.
Yeah. Get your money's worth.
Yeah. But this segment, we're also joined by another home brewer who also won medals at the Trash Homebrew Award. His name is Carmelo Medina. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for coming to us. You came all the way out of Jefferson Hills out by Arboretum Trail. So
yes,
the old Arboretum Trails.
Whatever. He still lives there. It's still his house.
There's probably still a sign on the door.
Probably.
Yeah. He still probably has all that crazy ass ductwork coming out of the side of the house.
Like 5 minutes from him, so
nice.
I know Ben stuff.
Yeah, awesome. Like, had you brewed with him, and did you brew on his crazy system?
No.
Okay.
So we've talked about the beers that we're drinking. What beer are you drinking?
So I'm drinking cream ale. It's pretty good. It's a hot day today, so it's a nice, easy drinking beer. Pretty malty, very light, so it's pretty good.
Just a good classic cream ale.
It is. Yep.
Zach strikes again.
Yeah.
Classics.
Yeah, that sounds like a Zack thing, maybe. But also, just maybe they're investigating a base. Cream ales are a good base for throwing adjuncts in.
That's true.
Yes, they are. I know that. I've lived that.
Right. Yeah, that's your whole portfolio.
One hit wonder, and it hasn't hit yet.
The jalapeno is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make that again.
But yeah, tell us, Carmelo, like what your involvement was with going into the trash homebrew competition. How many medals did you win? What did you win with? And what did you brew?
So my involvement was just basically judging for the competition as a certified judge. So I judged the light American lagers and I think one of the American barley wines, English and American barley wine. So and then I entered 6 entries, 5 beers, 1 mead, 3 lagers, so all of them I played. So one of them was the Leicht beer that was brewed at Cobble House Brewing. So Leicht beer is it's like a German Pilsner, very light.
Okay.
Like usually less than 4% ABV. So it's very light, easy drinking. It's a drinking beer. So
Nice. And has Scott been able to provide samples for you to taste?
Not yet.
Yeah. Just wanna- Is that getting close? But how close are we?
I think we're going to be drinking it at NHC next week, I think. So,
Okay, nice.
Right on.
We're going to have it there.
So with the beer that was the I'll say the medal award winner, was there any particular story behind that? Asked that in the first segment. I'll ask you again, or ask you, what's the story behind that? How did it come to be? What's the horror stories, if there are any, with it?
So I like Pilsner German beers. I wanted something light instead of like a 5-6% ABV beer. So, and this is a good beer that you can actually make a starter beer too. So it's so low ABV that you can increase your yeast that you're going to pitch on the next beer. Actually, so I made the Leicht beer and I pitched the yeast to the Vienna, who got a 3rd place on the competition too. So it's like a multiple step batches and for multiple beers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that beer, the beer that he brewed at Cobble House was one of the best I had that day. I was fortunate enough to not have to drive, so I got to try a bunch of stuff. And that beer was incredible. I was surprised it wasn't best in show, but it was close. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about the other beers and the mead you brought to the competition?
Yeah, so the other one was a Vienna. It was actually, so I got a best of show in Cleveland. I got some malt, a big bag of malt, so I used that as a base malt for the Vienna, basically straight up Vienna malt, and then fermented with the yeast from the Leicht beer. So I think the other one was a Czech dark lager. First time making a Czech dark. It was pretty good too.
Adam, say the name.
No.
Say it.
No.
What is a Czech lager? What is a Czech dark lager called?
It's tomato pizza. Everybody knows that.
I don't even know.
Getting them close.
Tomato pivo.
Yeah, so in the mead was a blueberry mead. Didn't place, but it was I think it was a little bit too sweet. So we got some really good competition at the competition. So some people that know how to do good mead and a good beer too. So
That's cool.
it was really hard to.
What I feel we only went to Hop Nation, Adam and I. We only went to one judging competition for trash. I don't believe there was any mead that year. Is that something that's been coming up more and more often?
I think it was a pretty popular category this year. I don't know how many entries were in that category. I wasn't near that table during the day.
I don't know. So I think back in 2019, if I remember that competition, I think there were only like maybe 6 or 8.
Okay.
I think there was a lot more this time. So people are brewing more mead. So I think the recipes and online, people learning how to do stagger nutrients additions is helping out a lot to bring the meats up. So good meats.
Awesome. I assume you're working with like honey from local farms.
No, actually from wholesaler.
From the bear?
Yep. So since I use blueberry and a lot of adjuncts to it, I don't spend the money on the mead. Basically just good meat from any store bought, and then good blueberries and good fermentation will make a good meat.
Was there any particular reason why you started going into the mead side of things, or is it just a curiosity thing? See what happens.
My wife likes wines, and that's like a sweet wine, so she enjoys that. So I started making a lot of meats for that. So,
makes sense to me.
Yep.
So in addition to your homebrews with the Trash Club, you're a part of Trube, which is the other club here in Allegheny County. You're also a beer judge.
Yes.
So any fun stories or horror stories from judging this year so far?
Judging. So I was talking about I think to Tom about a bit of a horror story. It's not a horror story, but getting beers that taste like pool water. please just fix your water. Use dechlorinated water, filter water, good our water with spring water. It's got your.
So if and when you come across something like that, obviously you have your judge sheet with your notes. Is there kind of a way that you can approach that? They say you have to fix your water, take a look at your balances and stuff like that, or can you just say it's bad?
No, so with judging on BJCP, you actually try to provide as much as feedback as you can. Basically, whatever you're getting in the aroma and the smells, you try to get the graininess of the beer, hoppiness, and the levels in each one of those categories. Same with the flavor and mouthfeel. And then whenever you know that type of off flavor, you just basically try to tell them how to fix it and how to improve the beer. And
Okay.
I think that's my beer. I'm glad that I joined the Troop and Trash because the people in the club, they'll tell you, hey, you need to fix your water, you need to fix your fermentation, or you have diacetyl. So that helps a lot with my brewing. Since I joined the clubs, my beer just went off. So it's improved a lot. So
in that regard, what is your brewing setup? Do you do a brew in a bag, similar like Adam S. was talking about earlier, or do you do
I do a brew in a bag, very simple setup, one pot, a bag, and that's it. Nothing fancy. Buckets for fermentation, and then kegs in a freezer, chest freezer. So
That was going to be my question, because it seems is that you're pretty focused on lagers.
Yes,
because you brought a whole bunch to that event, and then you also won with one. So it seems like you're a lager guy. So yeah I was going to ask like how are you getting that chill at the homebrew level, but you answered it.
Yeah. So it's a big chest freezer, and then cool fermentation, and then let it ramp up. Should do the trick. So
right.
Nice.
Yeah, just proving you don't need big stainless steel conicals to make a killer lager.
Yeah,
Like, he's making some of the best in the city, pro and homebrew. He's one of the everybody looks for when he shows up at a meeting. It's gonna be a good time.
I actually in the competition I entered 3 lagers and 2 ales, and none of the ales made it out. So I'm starting to brew ales now. So I see if I can improve the ales.
No, just stay in your lane. I do the ales, man.
I made a popcorn cream ale with popcorn. And that's a fun thing that I know Adam likes to do, puts weird stuff in beer, and usually they're pretty good. So that's gotta.
So I'm going to open that can of worms a little bit more. You say a popcorn cream ale?
Popcorn cream ale. So
isn't popcorn flavoring usually an off flavor that is a giant red light?
So that's so we met yesterday at the trash meeting was here in Abjuration, so everybody was asking the same question, but no, it's butter in the popcorn that gives you the off flavor of diacetyl. So
okay,
yes. So popcorn is basically the corn, and cream ale usually you have corn. So instead of using normal corn, I use popcorn.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Just make sure it doesn't have the movie butter on it.
Yes.
Then you don't get that diacetyl false read.
Yeah.
But yeah, that question came up a lot yesterday.
Yes. Is it a diacetyl bomb? It's like no, I just popcorn.
Do you dry pop with the
dry corn?
Do you add it in the secondary is what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah, no, I did it in the mash.
All mash?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mash,
Okay.
yeah. Pop all the popcorn was about a bucket full of popcorn, like a 5-gallon bucket, and then I added to the mash. And I had to add an enzyme to it since there's a glow conversion from the corn. So.
And how much of a son of a bitch is that to get out of the brewing system? Is it worse than just adding in regular corn, or?
It wasn't that bad because the water got absorbed by the corn, that popcorn, it just softened out. So basically disintegrated. And I thought about the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to be over getting all over the pod, but it didn't. So it was.
Yeah, I've never made a whole bucket of popcorn wet to see.
I don't think I'm gonna be making that beer ever again. So.
Well, good. There's a lane for you, Adam.
Oh, good.
You can make a popcorn cream ale now.
So you're obviously pretty established in making lagers. Is there any other styles you really enjoy? Like, what's your favorite one? What's your favorite ale? Maybe
my favorite ale, none. No, just kidding. Usually a lager guy. So my favorite beer is like a Munich Dunkel. Okay. That's what I usually go for. I know that locally we have very good Munich Dunkels that won like awards nationally. So I think like Church Brew Works has one, and Penn Brewery has another one.
Yep.
So
There's room for a third. That's okay.
You can put yours in somewhere. You can start winning awards for Scott.
yeah.
So I wanted to return a little bit to a conversation we had a little bit about on the judging side of things.
Okay, yep.
You talked about you during this competition you judged, what was it, 4 or 5 different categories?
2 categories. Yeah.
2 categories. Yep. So when it comes to judging in categories, do you choose the categories you want to go into? Is it drawn, names out of a hat? You go here, you go here, you go there. How is that established of where the judges judge particular categories?
So whenever you're signing up for the competitions to judge, you got your preferred styles and non-preferred style. So whenever I'm judging, I try to maybe take lagers as preferred and sours as non-preferred,
Okay.
or IPAs.
All right. This guy's all right.
Barley wine is like your second preferred. That's what you do. But yeah, a lot of brewers in the area will also go as judges.
Okay.
And a lot of them will put whatever they specialize in their non-preferred, actually.
Okay.
They don't want to seem biased or like
Right.
Yeah.
or like the king of
Right.
IPAs or whatever their style is. So the trash group tries to, give the judges what they want to judge, what they're passionate about.
Sure.
Yep.
Comes up with that. That way you get better notes, better feedback
Right.
on each beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume like you don't want Malcolm Fraser judging your pastry stout. You want him judging your lager. So you get good lager notes, not.
I don't know. He was involved in that chocolate oblivion this year, and I almost had to be resuscitated.
Let me ask though. Do the noobs to the group have to just take whatever they get? Like are they just assigned here? I'm sorry, not enough people signed up for the West Coasts. You have to go do that.
Yeah, I think that happens. I've judged a couple of competitions, and usually I get the IPA. So now I'm like clicking out. I don't want IPA. So I think I judged like 4 IPAs in 4 competitions in a row. So
No more.
so nobody wants the IPAs.
Tastes like Citra. Tastes like Citra. Tastes like homebrew. Tastes like Citra.
Yeah.
Awesome. So where can people find your brews at? Where are you going to be? Do you just do the trash competitions, or do you take yours out to like more open competitions for people to taste?
So I usually do competitions. I'm doing brewing up a cure. That's the
Nice. Cystic fibrosis charity. We love that one.
with Troop. So usually attend that. I usually have a classic style and a weird style like Adam here.
Good.
So I think last time I did, I had a Hellesbock lager and the coconut milk stout.
Okay, right on.
All right.
So always I'll have hopefully 2 different styles
Anyways,
there.
2 tables down for me with that
Yes.
coconut stout that was just.
I think your lemon beards beat me out.
Yeah, I had a lemon starburst.
Yeah.
beer at the same time.
That was good
we were
too.
getting
Yeah.
weird over on our side of the competition.
What are you going to be participating in the Brews in PA Invitational as well?
Judging that.
You'll be judging it.
okay.
Judging
All right.
that. Yeah. So it was too late. I think they closed out pretty quick. So I didn't even know that there was like a competition there.
Right.
So we got filled out pretty quick. So
Yeah. That's a cool thing. Okay.
So I know you're attending Homebrew Con.
Yes.
What beers are you planning to bring for
I'll probably-
the club night event?
Yep.
'Cause
So I'll bring.
homebrewers get to feature their beer on the first night
Mm-hmm.
of the con, or the second night.
Yep.
Technically, sorry, second night of the con for the other clubs
Okay.
that are attending. So
So I'll bring I think I'm going to bring in the popcorn ale, and then I think a Vienna. It's a kind of iteration of the one that I submitted to the competition. So it's a little bit more malty.
I hope the popcorn cream ale is the biggest hit.
It's probably a one, but
So on the Homebrew Con side itself, is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to? Any seminars or anybody you're looking to talk to? Anything like that?
I'm gonna be stewarding the whole week too. I tried to get into judging. I wasn't selected, but I'll probably be helping out and drink a lot of good homebrew. I know that a lot of people are gonna bring good beer, so it's gonna be a lot of people like giving like things away and like new products probably. So I'll probably looking forward to that. So it's my first time, so I don't know anything. Never been to
Have you
one.
pre-prepared and already like booked a hotel room so you don't have to?
No, I'm gonna be taking an Uber, so we already scheduled that out. Yeah, that's for sure.
Uber has to be one of the best things that's come for beer drinking in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Definitely beats out the Randall.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
the DUI.
Beats out the Randall, the DUI, brewed IPAs.
Aw, poor brewed IPAs. They had their moment in the sun.
They had a summer. There was a
Yeah.
summer of brewed.
That was
and
about,
then-
it was 8 minutes worth of summer.
yeah.
And then it went away again.
If only Seltzer followed the same path.
It'll happen. It's on that path already.
Is that a line you think you're headed to? Maybe
Brewed
seltzer?
IPAs? No way.
No.
Glitter first.
Hey, but have you thought about seltzer?
Seltzer,
Like since you're fucking with me, you know, it's
Yeah,
it's another thing.
No,
Nah.
I like the classic stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about ciders? That's a lot more
I've done
nice.
one cider, yes. It was too acid. My hand went too much on the acid, but I'll try that. I like sweet stuff, so I'll probably try that out.
Nice.
Right on.
Just I want to come back to mead because I like mead, but any other styles that you've like fucked with other than the blueberry, or is that kind of just like a new
Did
thing
a
to you?
black cherry one. So I guess the blueberry is the best recipe I have. Won a couple of medals. One of Niagara, one of my first medal actually. So I enjoy the flavor of the blueberry, but I had a black cherry too, and strawberry wasn't that good. So I had a pineapple guava one that was tasting good, and all of a sudden went south. So I've been trying other fruits, but I usually do like fruited mead. So
Right on.
I haven't submitted. I think the last one was a trash, so I don't have anything else to submit to competition. So I'll probably be making one mead soon. So.
All right.
Right on. And just in general for, you know, like your brewing future, you know, a lot of people, obviously, they get into brewing and they do it as a hobby and it just stays a hobby. Is that going to stay a hobby for you, or are you just going to keep doing it, you know, that way and then judging and just enjoying those kind of perks?
Yeah,
Or-
probably it's a hobby. It's once you make it a job or your business, I don't think it's too much fun. So probably keep it as a hobby. And then just trying to advance a little bit more on the BJCP certification. So
Right on.
Awesome.
Yeah. Respect. I can.
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, you get to try beers for free. Right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's free drinking, and you just have to brew one every now and then. Who
You
cares?
get the bad ones, but you get the good ones too. So
Yeah.
So with that, is there any social media we can follow you on? Any Facebook pages?
I usually not on the social media a lot, so I post it here and there with the trash club, but now I don't have any social media. I have it, but I don't post a lot. So.
Okay. I say, have you met the threshold of needing an Instagram account for the number of medals that you have won?
Yeah.
Definitely needs at least an Instagram account.
Just to post it for the looks. You got to put it out there. You got to get the clarity up there. And then people go, "Oh, how did you do that?" And then you get to tell them.
I don't know why I'm posting or pushing Instagram so much. I'm never on there.
I don't know why either.
That's why I stay on there, to avoid you.
Oh no! I don't blame you one bit.
The two atoms cannot cross.
There's only room for one atom on Instagram.
All right. Well, let's come back to the Abjuration beer that we're drinking.
Yes.
Three of us all have the Botanical ginger and lemon peel. You know, mine's gone.
Mine is
because it was
too.
good. And it very fresh. Had a lot of flavor on it. Bashline, what did you think? We didn't hear too much from you. About it.
I really liked the level of sour. I don't like anything very too tart, and I thought the lemon peel added a nice citrus note, a little bit of bitterness, which I liked. But kind of your comment at the beginning, Steve, a little bit more ginger would have been nice. But ginger I've used ginger in a few homebrews and can't ever get enough ginger in it.
Same.
It's a tough ingredient.
Same.
Also jumping in and saying you guys should have the key lime pie instead. And somebody that worked here, we would have told you that. And I'm glad you guys liked it. I just want to interrupt on what we do instead of it being blind poured against you guys like a bottle share.
Okay, well,
I love all you. Just saying. Sorry, that beer being part of the Botanical series has always been one of our favorites, but that one is a little long in the tooth, as they would say.
Fair enough.
So I do love you, and you guys stuck that one on me. You should have asked what you wanted. I would have given you like my favorite kids.
Well, we were sitting there looking at the menu, and you didn't tell us what to do.
Oh, right on. Sorry, I was too busy master of ceremony.
Round three.
So no, but in that way, I just want to say, yeah, that's odd. Love that you love it. Botanicals are my favorite. So, to me personally, it was my busting an ego. I would say I'm loving that you guys all picked that one because that's like those are my favorites of like what I get to do here whenever I get to like have a little moment artistically. So
all right,
I'm glad that you loved it. So
hold on before you run away. Let me clear the third beer with you then before we get into it. We're thinking desserts stout with the Oreo and coffee.
The dessert stout is very good.
Or do you have a better suggestion?
Well, it's like I'm thinking about you two as drinkers too. So in that way, I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. Well, then you heard it here, folks. Tom okayed us to drink the dessert stout, and that's what you'll hear next segment.
And but I'll try to sneak a couple key lime pies in them if I can. I just love it. I think you guys are going to miss the graham cracker.
Sure,
it's so good. I need you guys to have it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can have little sips of other things too. Yeah. But with that though, Carmelo, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
thanks for telling us all about your beer and what you're doing in the brewing world and how people can find your beer, because obviously it'll be at Cobble House, but it'll also be down at Homebrew Con. And if you have any other plans, do you have any other plans?
Brewing up a cure. Yep.
Brewing up a cure. So yeah, check out all those places. And with that, we're going to take another break and we'll come back with a whole bunch of beers, I guess, because Tom's going to feed us and get us drunk. And then we'll also be joined by another home brewer from Trash.
It'll be fantastic, and we will be right back.
You know what pairs nicely with a good beer? A bad movie. And that's exactly what we do at Hops and Box Office Flops, the internet's premier podcast dedicated to reviewing bad movies and mostly good beers. So join us on a hop-fueled excursion through some of Hollywood's biggest bombs.
We've covered everything from the fungus-laden streets of Dino Hatton with the Super Mario Brothers to the oddly horny felines of Cats 2019.
You can find our show on any of your finest podcast providers.
And follow us on social media at Hops and BO Flops. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll drink your face off.
Thank you for sticking around with us, everybody. This is still the Hop Nation USA podcast. It is still episode 253.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of content that we are giving to you for free.
Yeah.
$0 American dollars. That is weeks upon weeks of free complimentary content.
Yeah, we're going to have to change that. Subscriptions coming soon, you jerk-offs.
Oh, is this going to rough up some people in the streets? Give me $5, listen to my podcast.
Didn't you hear? We have brewers to bribe, goddamn you.
Yeah, that's right. There are Roush beers that need to be made.
How else do you think that happens? Loosen them purse strings, Grandma.
Can we not be a show that threatens grandmas?
No, because I just did.
I know.
So it's over and it's gone. Move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
He didn't threaten her as much as he shook her down.
That's right.
Cash for $5.
It's only $5. It's
It's a
okay.
real shame if something happened to you.
Okay, no, it's a threat.
No, that's just, it would be a shame if something happened.
Oh, okay.
It's not a threat.
That sounded better the second time.
It's not a threat. It's a promise.
Yeah. Anyway, we are still at Abjuration. We are still live. We're still drinking in the tap room, and we are still drinking Abjuration beers. And with that, the two Adams and myself, we have poured ourselves some yummy, yummy fat time because it is a dessert stout made with Oreo and coffee. It's on the Nitro, and it's version 1.5. And yeah, if you can't figure out what it is, like we just told you.
Yeah, just rewind 15 seconds.
Throw it down. It's aged on chocolate sandwich cookies to not get sued and coffee. Duh. We've had plenty of these kind of beers all the time. This is what the show runs on.
Can we call them hydroxios?
Sure.
There.
You can do whatever you want. That's not a thing.
Exactly.
You can call them hydroxums. You can call...
Hydroxums.
Yeah. You can call them redrox. It doesn't matter. None of those are things.
No.
Figure out what the fuck Piggly Wiggly sells, and then call it that.
Piggly Wiggly. But I guess we should talk a little bit on the number side of things. 6.2 on the ABV, 33 on the IBUs, and very delicious.
Yeah, definitely is. You get a lot of that Oreo sweetness on the back end, but up front it is black fucking coffee.
Yes, it is. I like it.
Yeah, same. Super enjoyable.
Very dark, very roasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a treat.
Yeah,
I like the coffee notes on this one for sure.
It's a good breakfast beer.
It would be a good breakfast beer. It's pretty. I don't want to say thin because that gives kind of a wrong connotation, but it's just lighter.
Right.
Yes.
Than a thick ass dark pastry stout that you get a lot of the time. It's not syrup full on, but
yeah, with it only being 6.2%, you're not crushing yourself with a 10% pastry on this one.
Right. Yeah.
You can definitely drink it in the morning and still have a day.
Yeah. You can have 2 before the sugar crash.
That'll get you to your coffee break where you get more coffee and pet back up and get yourself to lunch.
Indeed.
And then after that, you just coast.
And then you coast. Yeah. It's a Friday morning beer. With that, though, we are also joined by another trash home brewer. And this time we're joined by Bill Bickerton. Bill, what are you drinking?
So I am drinking the India Pale Ale. It's IPA version 6.14. It's kettle hopped with Mosaic. It's whirlpooled with Mosaic and Strata. It's then mangled in the dry hop stage with more Mosaic and Strata. A base of 2-row, which, I got to say it.
Go for it.
I hate when people say 2-row. It's pale malt because basically most of the grains that we use are 2-row. But, 2-row, brewer's malt, everyone knows what you're talking about, but still kind of, kind of fucking bothers me a little bit, to be honest with you. So, pale malt, oats, and Vienna malt set the stage. And I think, they are right. The resulting beer is a soft hop, saturated treat with super bright guava, grapefruit, and clementine. And I think I'm getting a little bit of strawberry, which I've used Strata.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a single hop beer with just Strata because I was trying to see, hey, how does this hop do? It's a newer one. And it's supposed to bring you some strawberry notes. And I was not getting the strawberry, but I think I am getting it with this beer. So apparently they are doing a better job with Strata than I did.
I know just their single hop Strata that they've done in the past is probably one of my favorite IPAs, period. And it's just so bright with pineapple notes, but I've never gotten like strawberry notes on their single hop version. So maybe it's just something a little extra that the Mosaic adds that brings out that strawberry.
They have a good hop strategy.
Oh, you fuck.
Yeah.
You scum.
I had to get one in there.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Bill, you are also a member of Trash, as we've mentioned, and at the Trash brewing competition actually won top overall score. What does that entail, and what did you win with?
Is it okay if I mention I'm also a member of Trube?
Sure, yeah.
So I'm a member of Trash, the Three Rivers Alliance of Serious Homebrewers, which you've already discussed that, but also Trube, Three Rivers Underground Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
I actually entered my first competition last November in Cleveland, the Snobs Sob. So I think it's like the
Northern
Society of Northern Ohio Brewers.
Uh-huh.
And their SOB is the Son of Bruzilla competition. I actually entered that competition as a Trash member, but for this Trash competition, I entered as a Trube member. I don't think it really matters why I did, but I did. But anyway, with this competition, I did the maximum of 6 entries. And I'll say this, if every home brewer that entered that competition entered the maximum of 6 entries, because that was the cutoff. You can only enter 6.
Mm-hmm.
At the one in Cleveland, you can enter up to 12, and I did.
Oh, wow.
And and I entered 12 entries, and that was a clusterfuck. But with this with Trash, I kind of liked that it was 6. I actually prefer if I only maybe did 2 limit.
Yeah.
But still trying to put those beers together. They weren't all different. The one of the ones I got a first place was the Rauch beer. It was a Rauchbach.
Ooh.
And again, I'm not sure exactly how we pronounce it because I know some say Roush, some say
Lazy.
Rock, Rauch.
We're lazy and we say Roush, but also sometimes if I'm feeling the gusto, I'll give it the Rauch.
Ooh, that was good.
Yeah. You give it the Rauch.
Back of the throat.
Yeah.
And we'll see how many tangents I go off on. But the reason I named that beer This Week in Rauch Beer because there's a John Hall who does a lot of podcasts.
There's a Facebook group for that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And
I might lurk.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker might lurk.
well, if you haven't joined, you should join. It's a very active group. But I kind of did that as a tribute to that group. And I love smoke beer. But yeah, that got me a first place. And that's the one that I asked East End if I could brew with them. Nice. I also got a first with the Vienna. And that beer, I brewed that Vienna in August. And I still had some bottles left. And I cracked one open in like January. And I'm like, oh, I really like this beer. This is much better than what I remembered when I kicked the keg. I actually thought that, hey, I might have a chance of getting best of show at the trash competition with that one. I didn't, but
still won you over.
But that's one because I'm very picky about beer, including my own, very, very picky. But I thought that one was very good. I actually thought the Vienna would be my highest scoring beer. So with that first, with the Rauchbock getting first, I had a spiced beer that I didn't even want to make. That also, I entered that in Cleveland as well. That got me a third place. It also got me another third place at the trash competition, even though it was my highest scoring beer. So it got a third with my highest score. Go figure. And then the fourth medal was a silver for a Munich Helles. Rich Romanko. He actually won this award, I think, 2017 and 2018. So he got the brew at East End twice. When he sent me a text message telling me that my Helles got a second, I was fucking shocked. But I'll take it, you know. But again, I said that before about if every home brewer had put in 6 entries, because they didn't. If everyone put in 6 entries, I would not have won. I am confident that there were some other brewers that, you know, they would have gotten more medals. I'm really thankful and appreciative of it. But
so the top overall score comes down to like combining the scores of all the beers that you entered?
No, I think it's just the medals. Like you get a 3 for like a first or gold, whatever you want to call it. Seems like, but so 3 for that. I think a 2 for a silver, and then 1 point for a bronze. I don't know if they give you any points if you finish as a best of show. I don't think so. I think it's just based on the medals.
It's just based on the medal count.
Yeah.
Okay. Scored, and that's the Turtle Creek Award, which is specific to the trash competition. It started in Turtle Creek neighborhood here in Pittsburgh, is where the club originated in 1985.
Okay.
So we named basically the most prestigious award given, except for the best in show. So,
all right.
Yeah, and that it just originated with the original club members in 1985. And yeah, then Bill took it home.
Nice.
Oh, and I would give a shout out, like when you said Turtle Creek, because I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, Ed Vidunis. He's someone that I've seen over at Fatheads a bunch of times and Pipers, but he recently passed away. But I think he was active in their beginning years. He's a really good historian.
Yeah.
I think he turned over a bunch of pictures to Malcolm Fraser.
Yep.
Who's the brewer in chief at the Hop Farm. But Trash is that's the oldest homebrewing club in Pittsburgh, and I believe it had a previous name. I don't know if it was like Turtle Creek. It was something like, but it was something
involving Turtle Creek was the original.
Yeah,
but yeah,
because their initial meetings were, depending on how you pronounce it. That's another one I'm not sure because I think I pronounce it Kyotos, but I think Chiotos or Chiotis. But if you're familiar with the Homestead High Level Bridge at the end,
sure.
Down once you cross over on the right was Kyoto's. They had that famous mystery meat sandwich or mystery sandwich, but it was a delicious sandwich. Luckily, I got to go there a few times during law school, and but yeah, they are no more.
So I wanted to walk back just a little bit. You had mentioned something that piqued my interest, and I wanted to dive
I know I ramble on a little bit.
That's all right. I understand completely. But you had mentioned a spice beer that you didn't want to brew. What's the story behind that? Why did you brew it, and why didn't you want to brew it?
Okay, so my wife wanted me to basically do a Trogs Mad Elf clone.
Ah, okay.
So she found a recipe or a clone recipe on byo.com. So Brew Your Own magazine. Again, there's a lot of good information out there as far as subscription magazines, internet resources for homebrewers. So the Trogs Mad Elf, Trogs Mad Elf, but no cherries, no honey. She's like, look, I'll put together a pumpkin spice blend. I'm like, okay, I've got 2 different brewing systems right now. I'm back to using my 10-gallon because I need to like ramp up making more beer. But I've got a 5-gallon system in Anvil Foundry, but it's limited as to how much grain you can get in the system. And that recipe is about 10%. Actually, it might be more than that, but the way I did it was 10%. It was still really pushing the limits, and it was a pain in the ass. But I didn't want to do it because I didn't want a beer that's 10% on tap. As Dirty Harry said, man's got to know his limitations.
That's right.
And
if it's there, somebody's got to drink it.
Yeah, and
a lot of times that somebody is you.
And I know I have lots of limitations, but so yeah, I did not want to brew that because of having that strong of a beer on tap, because I definitely did not want 5 gallons of a pumpkin spice beer. But she's like,
that's also 10%.
And I, even though I say that, like back in the day, I was able to get several sixtels of Southern Tier's Pumpkin.
Yeah.
And, that's not a weak beer. But I kind of got sick of it because I got too many sixtels of it.
I'm not trying to put down what you did. And
go ahead. I don't give a fuck.
Well, no, because you're doing your adventurous thing. You're a home brewer. You're testing your own limits. But can I say how thankful I am that Trogs never got into doing that? Like they never kowtowed to the pumpkin beer spice, craze.
Making a Mad Jack-o'-lantern or something.
Yeah, making a Mad Jack. Yeah,
because we all would have drank it.
We all would have drank it, and we all would have gotten in trouble. We can't have that much Belgian throughout the year. Yes, Tom.
But their scratch series is rather remarkable.
Yeah, the scratch series is great.
I'd say, I do think they do take a lot of risks at Trogs still, just to oddly tap in because they're my favorite PA brewery.
Yeah, I'm just glad they didn't jump in on being the same as every other brewery, making taking a famous beer that they have and turning it into pumpkin.
Oh, for sure. No, absolutely. I just wanted to say also, man, I really do love Trogs. I think what they do is great for Pittsburgh. Sorry, Pennsylvania beer. I'm always used to saying Pittsburgh. But when you look at the effect of Yingling or whatever, and how big PA distro can get, Icy Light and whatnot, as we're going to see with them opening up, I think we're going to look fondly of Trogs being a very big kid that does great things in our market.
Oh yeah,
it's just looking cool to a distro guy.
Yeah. I am glad simply for self-preservation. That's the only reason I'm glad they didn't do it.
Yeah. But Trogs is good, but we're not.
Yeah, but I'll be the dick and say that what, what the people saying, if you shit on AB InBev or because you are kind of shitting on Yingling a little bit, right?
Only based off not being like them as a person, but they seem nice, for beer. As far as we're different ideologically as people, I would say for Yingling, but I would still say for Pennsylvania, it's good to be everywhere. It's good that they have a Florida distributor, and I like their zeitgeist in that way. But I would shit on them, yes.
No, and that's where I would say it's it's still a malt beverage, and if it transitions someone into drinking your beer, or
absolutely,
because I wasn't drinking. Okay, mid-90s, I was living in Philly for a couple years between Grove City College and law school at Pitt. I had a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, and I thought it was fucking garbage. I also thought Starbucks was fucking garbage when I first had it.
That's some crazy heresy. That's some crazy heresy.
Yeah. Going back to some of these other beers. Yeah, I don't know how it works. If someone's a fan of wine or spirits, getting them to drink beer, you can. But I think at least if they're going to a bar and they're drinking Yingling, that maybe it has a local beer on tap, they might try it and eventually get used to it. Again, I didn't start drinking craft beer right away. And I think probably my biggest transition into craft beer was Sam Adams. I I love their Oktoberfest, their summer ale, even their cherry wheat, which, I did have some Oktoberfest a couple years ago and it was still all right. But no, I don't like the tactics that some of them use, but at the same time, you know what? There's been a lot of research done over the years by AB InBev that's helped craft brewers. But
there's a saying that I always go back to is that craft brewing is an art, macro brewing is a science. That they have everything down to the absolute gram.
Because they have to.
Because they have to.
Because the fucking Budweiser in Van Nuys has to taste the same as the Budweiser in Boston. So
yeah,
and that you're right. That is a feat to be that consistent. Whatever, blending their different beers or different fermentations together to get that same flavor and to be consistent. But the craft brewer still's got to use a lot of science.
yeah,
Otherwise,
absolutely.
There's still a lot, and it varies because early days of Hop Farm, the owner, his wife was a scientist at for AB InBev, so she was able to look at the water profile that Hop Farm was getting, and she was able to look at yeast profiles and all that. Nice. But then sometimes you have people who are just home brewers who have money and and start their own fucking thing. So yeah, it varies. It very much varies. But yeah, I would always say there's more creativity in craft beer than there is
absolutely
than there is coming out of Van Nuys.
Yeah. Is anything good come out of Van Nuys?
I found a 7-Eleven there that had horchata on tap. So yeah.
Yeah, all right.
There you go.
That's one.
There's some good taquerias.
That's two.
don't they have a good boulevard?
It's all right.
Oh, okay. So no number 3.
No number 3. But so I think we kind of got an idea of like what you like to brew. You're again lager focused, kind of like Carmelo was. Is there any beer though that would surprise people to know that you're really, really into, and like really into brewing or really into drinking? One or the other.
Well, I already mentioned the smoked beers. Black IPA.
Hell yeah.
You all talked about the brewed IPA and how that that
went away. Black
off the
IPA
cliff.
back, baby.
It'll bottle rocket its ass right out of here.
No, and I did try to do a more experimenting to try to get close to Wookie Jack, because I know what you can find online as far as a clone. Wasn't doing it for me. So this summer I did do one, and I didn't put enough hops in it, but I actually entered that in the Cleveland competition, and it didn't medal or anything, but it still did all right. I would encourage people to enter competitions. It's not always about winning medals. I am not a judge. I really don't feel confident in doing that. I once reffed an intramural game at Grove City College, basketball intramural game. It did not go well. I didn't blow the whistle until someone actually intentionally kick tripped somebody. And when I blew the whistle, it was like, oh, well, at least we know your fucking whistle works. So judging beer,
let them play. It's like a live version of NBA Jam.
Yeah, right.
Let them play. Let them go.
I never reffed a game after that. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not good at that.
Part of Trube, you're part of Trash, and sometimes you go up to Snob. But is there any places that people can find your beer? Like, are you participating in Brewing Up a Cure or the Brews and PA Invitational this year? Places people can find your beer?
So Brewing Up a Cure, that was 2019. That was the first time I've ever poured beer for an event for anybody or anything. And I was pouring 2 beers there. And it was really fun. I actually had a black IPA that used a Kvik strain. I try to do my Norwegian accent there. My wife says my Norwegian accent is terrible, but yeah, I know. I
do a black IPA with the Kvik.
Whether it's Kvik, but I'm like, but yeah, Kvik. But you got to do the quickly. I don't know, but that black IPA tasted all right, and I did a Meriton for that. And I know this one guy, he was, I think, filling the water pitchers, and he kept coming back for it. And you were really close. You got like second. Dustin got first because that was a competition too, where people were voting on the basically best brewer for that. Yeah, Dustin and Adam were getting a bunch of votes, and but I had his 2 beers, and And I had one of yours because I think you had, I don't know if that was the Taylor Swift Baby I'm a Nightmare dressed as a.
That was it. Yeah.
What is it called?
Wow, you have a great memory.
No,
I'm
actually.
a nightmare dressed as a daydream.
I just remember, yeah, that's it. But no, that was really good. And I had Carmelo. He had I think it was a coconut chocolate porter.
Yeah,
It was
we
really
just
good.
talked about that.
Yeah. We
Oh
talked
yeah,
about it.
that was really good. And I had a Rich Romanko had I think he had like I don't know if it was Galaxy, but he had a pale ale or IPA that was really good. He also had, I think, a light lager. But that was a good event. That was my first experience. It pushed me to do better because I had to hurry up, make beer, get it carbonated quickly, and then coming up with a system to pour it. So yeah, I think those things are important. I do plan on pouring again this next week. I've got a 1-hour seminar at Homebrew Con that I'm teaching. That's homebrewing economics. That's Friday morning at 9. I'm planning on bringing beer for that, and then Friday night at 9:00 is I think the club night.
Club night, yep.
So.
Okay. 9 o'clock bookends.
So yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even pick that up. But yeah, the 9:00 in the morning, people start drinking my beer, and then I'll have it again at 9 that night. We'll see. Oh, and the two Munich Helles. I just kegged that up yesterday, and then doing another well, it's either going to be a pale ale or an IPA, depending on whether I add dry hops or not. We'll see.
Right on.
Procrastination. That might have been my minor.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to this episode and you're traveling in for Homebrew Con or you have tickets and you're going, it sounds like you got plenty of options to get some of Bill's beer all over the place, not just at the Visit Pittsburgh table. He'll be teaching class. So you go class, get beer.
Get it there. Go to club night. Get more beer.
Unlike Grove City, that doesn't happen. But as a person who went to Penn State, that absolutely does happen. Sometimes we just had class at bars.
Yeah. Just to expound on what club night is. So Friday night, each homebrew club that's coming to attendance from across the country and maybe even neighboring countries. I'm not sure about that. No, it's just across the country.
Okay.
But they each can bring up to 20 beers.
Oh, goddamn.
So it's going to be a good night for an Uber.
Is anybody bringing food?
I think there's also catering. Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Uber is going to be hitting that surcharge hard.
Again, it's at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. So there's plenty of people who've got they got hotel rooms.
Hotels
That's true.
there.
That's right. Take the Shoe Leather Express.
Fucking after parties in the hotel lobby. I know we can't do R. Kelly shit anymore, but still, that's a great lyric.
And there are other things going on too, where like Milk the Funk. If people like sour beers, I don't know what night it is, but they're doing something. They're having a meetup at Hop Farm.
Nice.
And I think there may be some other groups, whatever, they're trying to do things.
Yeah, I know.
So there's a lot of shit going on.
Trube is throwing a happy hour at Burgers in Lawrenceville on Tuesday night, right around happy hour time, probably 5, 6 to 9-ish, for any homebrewers or people that are just interested in learning about homebrew. I know that's one event we're trying to do to like kick off the whole Homebrew Con week for Trube anyway.
Right on.
So I'm part of that club too.
Right on.
Trash rules.
Trash rules.
Sorry, just to mention, the reason for all the different events and all the different breweries is the Pittsburgh Brewers Guild is leaning in very hard on the Homebrew Con.
Oh, yeah.
And so just to remind everybody, if you want to see some great events that are going on during Homebrew Con, check out the Pittsburgh Brewers Guild website because they have a lot of links there and Visit Pittsburgh as well. Just to give everybody a good direction for events and how to participate.
So yeah, they're definitely planning on a lot, and they want to make it welcoming for everybody who's coming in from, like Adam was saying, across the country. So,
and if anybody can do it, it's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, absolutely. We got plenty of breweries, we got plenty of bars, and then we're going to have plenty of home brews. So don't miss out on anything that's available to you.
And Kenny Chesney's already gone, so the mess should be cleaned up.
Yeah, fuck him. But
I didn't get as many calls this year from people.
Nobody needed an offense.
Maybe it was a little tamer
down
year.
here.
Yeah.
Tame. With that though, Bill, why don't you just tell everybody where they can find you if you have like social media or a website, or hey, if you want to promote your legal defense, I don't practice, you can do that. I don't give a shit.
The mic is yours.
Yeah, promote yourself however you want to.
Bickerton Law is my law practice, and I'm primarily criminal defense. Started a website, cheaphomebrewer.com. I need to do more with that. At least my wife is telling me that I need to do more with that.
I don't know. That's pretty good for the SEO right now. Hitting cheap. Cheap plus homebrewer.
I'm not sure when East End will be packaging the Rauchbach.
Oh, so they're going to actually can it for you.
I think they will have cans.
Oh,
and
nice.
I think as part of the award, you get a 6-stall, which the funny. So Brendan, who head brewer there, when I was there, because I was there for 2 days, I was there on a Thursday, and then I was there Friday the 13th. So Friday the 13th. But when I was there Thursday, I milled in about I think 20 bags of 20 55-pound sacks. And it was actually enjoyable. Like, it went quickly. But when I came back there Friday at 7 a.m, I was a little sore when I had to do the next 10. Because I know Brendan's like, well, because he did one to show me, so I wouldn't fuck up their grain mill. So he did the one. And then Friday, he's like, well, he was going to do some more. Like, no, I got this. Like, he's like, well, I wouldn't feel like I'm really brewing this beer or participating if I didn't grind up some bags. I'm like, that's all right. So that was cool, doing the hard labor for that. But then their equipment, as long as you know how to run it, it's so automated. Whereas a home brewer, well, you can get pretty automated as a home brewer as well. But I don't have that automation in my kitchen because that's where I brew. But I guess I'll get a 6-stool of that beer as part of my award. And I know, I don't know what I said to Brendan, and he wasn't angry or anything. He just said, oh, I hope you feel like this is an award and not a chore, which anyone in home brews, it's work. Like it is blue collar. Like you're working, you're sweating. I imagine anyone that makes Thanksgiving dinner, that's a lot of work. But when you're done, you're happy with the result. You're proud of what you did, and you get to enjoy something fantastic, unless you fuck it up. But no. But no, it was definitely, I learned a lot because when I first went in there, just to drop off a bottle of my beer so they could taste it, probably to make sure that they're going to well, let's see if we really like this beer. Mm-hmm. We might think it's shit, and we're going to be like, okay, we're not going to brew that. But when I went in there, they had music playing, they had the canning line going. There was so much noise. It's kind of, I don't know, I felt a little overwhelmed when I first went in there. So it was cool to just get familiar with that commercial equipment, and then, you get familiar with the people too. But yeah, they've got a really great crew there, great people, pretty laid back. And yeah, it was an awesome experience. I plan on competing again at next year's competition. And I doubt that I'll win, but if I did, I don't think I would want someone else to have that opportunity to brew with them, meet those people. But that'd be pretty presumptuous to think that I could win it 2 years in a row.
Hey, you can always try.
That's right.
But with that, thanks for coming on the show, Bill.
Yes, appreciate it.
Yeah. Good luck to everything that you're doing as far as home brews. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you around, hopefully Brewing Up a Cure and all the other events in the city, because we got a whole bunch as far as home brews. It's not just beer fests.
That's right. No, there is a lot. And I appreciate you. Appreciate you for having me on. It's a great opportunity. It's nice meeting everybody here.
It was our pleasure.
And this is my first time being at Abjuration, and their beers are wonderful.
Yes,
so shout out to them for hosting this. And thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, with that, we're going to bring Tom on, who is one of the owners here at Abjuration. I'm sure you've heard him before. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the podium, bronze, silver, and gold, and we're going to rank all the beers that we drank tonight. And we're going to end on Tom, because these are his babies, and he has to rank the beers that he sells. I will go first.
Thank you, because I don't know yet.
Because it's pretty easy for me.
Really? Okay.
It is.
All right.
For bronze, I'm going to go with the Botanical Sour, the ginger lemon peel. I really like that beer. It was bright. The only thing is, it just kind of broke one of my famous arbitrary rules, is that I didn't get a flavor that was listed, and that flavor was the ginger. I just didn't get enough of the ginger. I love ginger. I eat ginger just raw. I don't give a fuck. I love it. That's why I need it when it needs to be listed in beers. So I need it to come big. But it just didn't. So that comes bronze, but it's still a very enjoyable and bright beer. Silver is going to go to the Franconian lager. Just incredibly enjoyable. It's a nice refreshing drinker. It comes right down the middle, and because it's at 4.8, you could put a number of those away and just have a nice caramelly flavor throughout the day. But of course, gold. Come on, it's a coffee stout that also has Oreo. Like, yeah, duh. You've listened to the show, hopefully, and if not, now you know.
More, right? More, please. Keep it coming.
I guess it's my turn, isn't it?
I don't know. It's either of the Adams' turns because Tom goes last.
That's true. I'll go.
Go right ahead.
Oh boy. And as always,
I'm going to play unfair too. By the way.
No, that's fine. And as always, since we're at Abjuration, it has to be said, every one of the beers that we had here were fantastic. Not a loser in the bunch, but in the bronze medal position, I'm gonna go against Steve on this one. I'm actually gonna put the coffee stout in bronze. I enjoyed it. I liked it, but man, it's a breakfast beer, and that means I'm gonna want to drink it at breakfast all the time. And I got a job.
Shut up! Late breaking news.
Gainful employment.
Tom snuck a beer in on us at the wire.
Oh no! What's this one?
It is their key lime sour, and so I have to revise my rankings. Everything else moves down one, and key lime goes right at the top. You get every single fucking flavor in that. Yeah. This is why I stopped you, Adam, because now you have to revise your rankings. Yeah. You get every single flavor.
This is the best brew made in the sour series, probably in maybe like I would say in the quarter, if not like 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, you got me. I mean, to rank the beers you've had here would be cute, but it would miss, it would miss like what I think is the all-star right now of that. Showing off again. This is one of Zack's beers. So he started up about 4 months ago, and he's just been really smashing the hell out of it. Can't say enough about how much I think the beers of continue our tradition, if not just accentuated what we're up to.
Yeah, it is. You're right, Tom. It would be like ranking superheroes without including Superman. So.
Yeah, this is a 15th round haymaker.
Yeah. So new gold is smoothie sour, the smoothie style sour key lime cheesecake. You get every single one of those flavors of key lime cheesecake. It's got a creaminess, despite it being, just a relatively clear and golden ale. And then you also get a fine graham cracker taste to it as well. So new gold. Back to Adam in the newsroom.
Well, I guess in my copper position, would that be correct? Since there's
copper tin.
Yeah, I like that. Copper. Yeah, in the copper.
We'll go copper.
Copper tin. Do whatever.
Yeah, copper. I'm going with the coffee stout. I talked about that. I got a job. I can't drink it in the morning every day, so it gets the copper position. In the bronze medal position, I think I am going to go with the ginger lemon peel sour. I like that, but I also agree that I could use a little more ginger.
Yeah, we all wanted more ginger in it, and that's like the one tragedy of that beer is it just didn't come up. I think it was we had a little issues getting enough surface area on it, I think was the thing. So you got to, some of these ingredients they're natural. Like we use real ginger. So it's like, when we did the lemon peel on the bubblegum beer, we just did, I was like, zesting and peeling lemons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're squeezing lemons. So a lot of it's just like, our best efforts. So when you get like 70% instead of 100%, like we'll get you next time.
Yeah. And it's almost like dealing with jalapenos. You never quite know how much heat you're going to get, from pepper to pepper. And I'm sure it's the same thing with the ginger from root to root.
Yeah.
You don't entirely know what you're going to get.
I'm rooting for a hot stout in the very short term. So we'll see what happens.
Go on. But in the silver medal position, I gotta go with the Franconian lager.
So good.
I like that one.
Yeah, drink it all the time.
I am a big fan of that. That is one that I can just have every day. Come home from work, crack one open, feel good about my life. That is a good everyday beer. I like it. I put it up there with your amber that you always have on tap. One of your OGs.
Yeah.
I love that beer, and this one's right up there with it.
I would say it could be done in that same series. I think it would be the Franconian. I think it's the maltiness is just enough to really take it to that near like I don't know, like strong brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it still finishes lager clean. It's glorious.
It's lager clean, and it just has that good, perfect amount of sweetness to it without getting into a sugar bomb. It works just right. But unfortunately for all the other beers that we drank on the show, well, this key lime came in and just wrecked the competition.
It's the graham
gold.
cracker that you get.
It's gold.
This is the second time I've had the beer myself because I don't normally drink the sweeter beers, but in this way I'm jumping on the grenade for myself, as I say. But I only had like an ounce, but I love lime so much. Love key lime pie, and the graham cracker comes so forward. And I really think as we're going forward with like, you know, everybody's like the high beers are doing their thing, and like we now know the new beer drinker and what everybody wants, you know, so we're like everybody's getting more controlled and it's fine. People are calming down, but there's still like really gangster ass beers to be made.
Yes.
And so this is one of those like, hey, by the way, yeah, okay, sours exist and we all get it now, but have you had one that like lit you up? Because you know, this is like you said, a haymaker. This is a firecracker. This is the neighbors are all up and anxious. The dogs are barking. This is a good beer. It's a really good beer. And at this point, I think with the new outdoor setting here, we're only being even more unignorable in that way. Like there's a lot of noise out west. What's going out west?
Yeah.
Like why aren't we out there?
Yeah.
You know, Uber in, Uber out, right?
In a way, in a way, you get backup from all the other breweries that are opening up in this area. So, yeah, it can only help you because
Lincoln Ave is dope.
Lincoln Ave is dope.
Grant's a great human being. They make great beers. They have great food.
Yeah, Fermata's making a lot of noise, and then you know if you become a stop on somebody's way out to one of those places, fine, because you're still a stop and people are still drinking here.
Yeah.
Whether on their way in or out of the West. So yeah.
And well, that puts us into we'll have a best news ever category later on. We'll talk about that.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Sneakers, not Siki sneakers, but because things have become very apparent once we have to file with the PLCB every time we open a location. So it's kind of important to like it'll be out like within the next few seconds. I hope. You know what I mean? Like as soon as we get the paperwork put in on it. So.
Not really setting the hook anymore, just throwing it out there.
We're looking at a second location here in the next couple of months. So.
Sure, if you want to put that out there, and if you want to,
just for everybody, you know, we don't need to like draw it out.
Sure,
if you listen to the podcast this deep, you've earned it.
Sure, yeah,
we don't hurt your feelings.
I like
anymore.
that. I like that.
Yes.
So,
if you listened long enough, you learned.
And we thank you. We thank you for even being, you know, all the things.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Let's go to Bashline for his rankings.
Awesome. I guess off the podium in fourth place, thanks to this late arrival, the Botanical Sour is going on for me. Again, love the freshness of the lemon in that, but the ginger, we've all repeated it.
Yeah.
The ginger just wasn't quite there, but a great sour nonetheless. Great lemon. Come get it. In third place, I'm putting the Oreo Coffee Stout. Great coffee flavor, which is one of my favorite flavors, especially in a stout or a porter. And the Oreo cookie came through at the end. Everything that was promised, nice and light. Can drink them in the AM. Great. Third place. My former first place that got bumped down to second is the Franconian Lager. Because again, it's one of those, you think it's going to be malty and overly sweet, but it stops just in time, crisps up, lightens up, gets off your palate, gets you ready for the next sip.
Yeah.
I think it's nearly a perfect dark lager. And it's only falling to second because this key lime pie sour that we got treated to is taking the gold. Again, like what everybody else said, especially what Steve said, you get that cream cheese, the graham cracker, the lime, and it's not a smoothie color or texture on your tongue.
It is not
light and
it's not a
crisp and
gloop
clear.
glop some bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it should be. Every one of those adjuncts should gloop it up. And none of them glooped it up. So I think it's not only does it taste great, it appears amazing, it smells amazing. It is by far first place.
Right on.
Congratulations on this beer.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you
Yeah,
very much. I didn't mean to like Bugs Bunny my way in to the conversation with it earlier, but I had to make sure that it was represented because I would call it like Abjuration Labs at this point. It's just off the cuff because I didn't clear with corporate. But like, you know, the fact that our adjunct game is so deep into the method with what Dave's always working on the next product, the next new thing. And we have a very hands-on style of putting the things in and how we do the things. But I think right now, if you're coming here regular, you're getting it as good as you've ever gotten it. Like the hoppies show up really. Our hop game now is the best it's ever been. I don't know. And the atmosphere is now the best it's ever been.
Right on.
Like, you guys were here when it was a cave.
Yeah. We've been here since day one. So
Literally day one.
Yeah, it's King's Landing. You know what I mean? It's King's Landing. It's like it's way open now. It's cool. You know what I mean? We have ships. It's
it's nice. Bashline, why don't you give everybody like your socials where everybody can find you, where everybody can find your beer what events you're going to be at.
So we will be at Club Night as with the Trash Group. We'll be bringing a Pink Starburst milkshake IPA for all you adjunct lovers, and then a super solid, super clean cream ale that's traditional into the style. So you can see a little bit of what we do for both. Then we will be at that Breweries in PA Homebrew Invitational in July 16th, I believe, at Hop Farm. So tickets are on sale now. Get them. There's going to be a lot of great homebrewers there. I've seen the lineup. You will not be disappointed.
Nice.
And then you can find us on Instagram at bash_brew. And then the podcast Decayin with the Boys is Decayin WTB on Instagram.
And Twitter and all of it.
And Twitter and Facebook and everything else. So check that out. Give me and my podcast partner, who's the leader of the operation, a listen and give us some likes and some listens.
I'll trade you peeling Starburst labels off by the hour for podcast time.
Okay.
So
I'll take that because I have no fingernails. So
right?
it was a
You're
struggle.
welcome. Yeah, that's actually a 3-to-1 offer. I should do, right? I'll give you 37 minutes of podcast for 3 hours of label peeling, and you'll be like, I love him.
That's a deal.
Right, exactly. Right. Can I have it like in installments or just take it all at once? Because I can have 3 beers for one.
Sounds like Tom's going the reverse way. He's leaving Pro Brewing to go homebrew with you.
You know, I mean, I don't know, man. I like, being collaborative and artistic. We started as, we were just making products. I mean, the size of the brush doesn't matter. The format doesn't matter.
Can I offer a compromise? Can you peel Starburst while you're podcasting?
You definitely could, but
you could. It might get a little noisy in the mic.
I would suggest not, but that's
especially
just
when
me.
I pop every fourth one into my mouth and chew on it while I try to talk. It's not going to be good.
So most of these arduous things, so I did cardamom pods the other year. Whatever. It was for we did a botanical sour. The one before this one was strawberry, cardamom, and lavender. And I had to get the pods because I didn't have the seeds. And I had to toast the pods, grind the seeds. It took me 3 hours. So you got to get it. It was horrifying. Not good. Bad moments. Great beer. Scored great. Everybody loved it.
All right. Well,
but the problem is you don't want to you have to get into a Zen state for those things. You don't want to be doing something else. You want to just let it be the nightmare that it is.
Yeah.
That is your mission for that time period.
All right. Well, with great beer on the mind, now's your time, Tom. Time for you to rank the 4 beers that we already talked about.
The 4 beers. Lemon Lime comes right off as my gold because that beer, I think, really just proves what we've been up to here and where our program is right now. Franconian Lager be number 2 because I drink a lot of it. It also falls into the idea that we get definitely branded a lot within Pittsburgh's beer culture as being the people that are just throwing weird things into beers like frogs and unicorn tears and magic candy farts or whatever, and we actually really care. And I think have a great traditional beer program here. And you guys have been on board for all of it. I've wowed you with the Phobos, the multi-bomb brown ales before, in the before times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
5 years back.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it, but we were talking about just your single hop strata IPA.
Oh yeah,
it's just one of my favorite IPAs. Period, and it's one of the most simple beers, but it's so well made. So yeah, you guys do crazy off the wall shit, but your traditional stuff is good as well. Adam loves your multi amber ale.
That series is seminal to us at this point too. We're we're nearing on 20 variations of that 1 point blank series of the multi amber, and a lot of our beers here now are they say you don't do flagships, but your soul is a flagship in that way. There's a ship of the brewery that goes down the line. Bash Brews has been doing Jojinator and all the Jojinator-esqueness for so long. That's the soul of his product.
Right.
The whole thing is tied up in the identity of the branding, the whole thing. And at this point now that we have other people working here and we have a crew of people, I really loved that I got to lead with Zack. It was great. Zack's put a lot of work in here. He totally understands everything. He's been just amazing to us and everything. So for us to be able to move into what we consider big kid brewing, and we started off with 1 barrels and it was horrifyingly small, and now we're finally around the corner, and everybody that you were here with the whole time, can't say enough thanks to you guys for being here. Everybody was here the whole time. It's and we're in the middle. There's so much more coming and where we're up to, and so the whole hot take part about our second tap room is we just had to go through this big process in the North Shore or north side, I guess they call it. Like, because we're trying to go across the street from Randyland. We have a build out going on there. So we have to put in for the permitting, and that'll be our second tap room is going to be there. So it's not a firm announcement, but it's definitely like the first time people really talk about it. But we have to lean in, but it's going to be a couple months away still, and it could always die like everything in brewing. You always hear like, "Hey, I had a thing," and you're like, "Yeah, you did," and then they shot it in the face in front of you. Oh yeah, the thing.
They
Yeah,
also
the
did
thing.
that.
Right. So. Yeah, but right now it's definitely something we're on the edge of like, and if not, then like the beer garden here has just been such a blessing. The lights are on now and I can see it, and we got we're going to do some limited shows as we go through the summer and whatnot because we're still building it out. And the hops are doing great. Dave's really happy for the hops. He's such a hop daddy. You know what I mean? Like, I mean that in the DAY sense. That's right. And he's always had a good green thumb, and it looks great out there. It's just, I don't know, we're finally getting to the vision we wanted when we started the place. So anyway, in the third position, I would put.
Damn, that was good. I didn't even have to remind
him.
Right?
Sorry about that. I would. I'm trying to remember the beer name.
We'll see. We'll see what.
No, I would actually put the BSR there. I enjoyed very much the tartness of the Botanical Sour. Even though the ginger was more of a belly warming, I still think the beer itself was like on point, and it's really held up so amazingly well for its age. At 4 months out, to have that much clarity of flavor, that when you guys blind picked it, it stood up. As one of our beers, to me, says a lot for that beer and deserves the higher category of the four. And then the fourth would be the other one, which I didn't mention and I forgot.
The Oreo.
No, the Oreo. Yeah. So I don't normally drink all the sweet beers. So I only had that one like a bit. And I thought the Oreo was really nice. I don't know if I think myself personally that I'm more a whore for sweet because I don't drink sweet beers. So I always think like I've been watching sugar from afar for so long because I don't like it's really, I mean, it's my own personal problem, I guess. So, but I really like that beer. And it's just such a pain in the butt to pour on nitro all the time. So maybe I have like a gripe on it for like being the bartender on it. But so that way I'll put it in the fourth position, but I love it too. I think like you said, it hit all the flavor notes and to just keep it coming, in that way. So,
yeah, for only being 6'2", it hits all those flavor notes.
Yes, it does. Quite well.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. All right, Tom.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us and letting us bring all these yahoos in here and talk about homebrews and shit. But, take the time to promote Abjuration. Of course, we already had Zack do it at the top of the show, but you go ahead and do it again.
I just can't say enough again about Zack and what he's been doing here. Dave's on vacation currently. He's actually getting to be the family man I always say he is. So, they're going to the Big D, where the Magic Mouse. So I'm super happy.
I thought he meant Detroit.
Oh, no. I'm from Detroit, actually. My family's in Detroit.
Big Mike's there, too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Absolutely. Yeah. My brother's a cameraman in Detroit. So his family's been living there for like 20 years. And so I go there all the time. I do the Michigan Beer Festivals. All the people in PA, not a far drive, 4 hours, great hotels. There's 3 of them a year. All over Michigan. And those beers you can't get, there's 300 at a time. All the different breweries. There's tons.
Road trip?
So
Road trip.
We'll hold hands. I'll meet you there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll do it like the Wizard of Oz style. We just like skip up 8 Mile. You know what I mean? It's not actually near 8 Mile there. It's in the center city in the fall, but you get the idea. That's a digression. But so where were we?
You're promoting websites.
Oh, my business and like what I live for. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Abjuration Brewing. We're on all of the various socials, Twitter and Instagram. We're taking a little hiatus on the newsletter for a little bit because we got to make more beer and things are getting like a lot more intricate with Dave and all of his time and my time. So we just want to say thanks to everybody who's been Untapped is real, and we thank everyone who ever smiled on us on there, and it really means a lot. So when you're at home and you crack one of my beers and you think good things about me, I think good things about you. So thanks for drinking our beers at this point, and we love you too. So We're going to make as many weird things as we can, and we'll make normal things too. And so, see you in the future.
Neat. And we may have plotted things in the background on you, but
yes, we did.
Yeah. If you want to find us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA. That'll get you Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes of the Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA on your favorite podcatcher, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anything that starts in pod, ends in cast, Spotify, Listen FM. It's all there. But if you're on any of those platforms, leave a 5-star review because
we are a 6 beers submitted to the trash competition, but they only let us use 5.
And that's a bigger crime than Tom sneaking in a 4th beer at the buzzer.
Guilty as judged.
Especially when it's one that good.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, thanks again to Tom. Thanks again to all the homebrewers. Thanks again to Adam Bashline for helping us out and leading us down this path to trash and promoting Pittsburgh and all the good things going on for Homebrew Con. Again, June 23rd to the 25th. You can get tickets, or you can just go find fucking events that are happening. It's all out there.
Just walk around, just swinging your arms around. You'll hit a home brewer.
Just start yelling.
They'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah. Just start yelling, where can I get one? I want a beer.
I know a brewery that has 120 recipes on its website, abjurationbrewing.com. You can search by category and style, and you can make them. Grain unit hops, just for the homebrewers back there. Not kidding.
It's true. I've seen it.
We've seen them. One of us used one.
I will neither confirm nor deny which one of us.
It was me. It was me. I took their tea base to make my own tea.
It's a beer a month for 10 years. After that, you got to work here. And stop on it. Oh, keep it up.
Keep it up.
We'll make you watch something.
I don't want no job. Stop it.
So with that, thank you again, everybody. We're going to be back next week with something.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.